Well, hi everybody. Hello my dear viewers, all 6 of you. I haven't fly fished for I think 2 whole weeks, and in the summertime it feels like a pretty decent amount of time. About today, this river has been in our series previously already, but not exactly this spot. We were like, I would say 10-15 kilometers downstream, more closer to the outlet of another river. From this point onwards, the part of the river is completely unknown for me, so it's gonna be interesting. Already set up my trusty setup, like a heavy, darker nymph on the bottom, and like a nice dry fly, approximately 40 to 50 centimeters above. Haven't fly fished for a bit, so I'm gonna be a little bit rusty probably. The water level is really low. Expect anything and you can't know anything before you are here. This whole section was underwater and it felt like, yeah, that's okay. So the fishing today is gonna be really selective. Like we're gonna have to hike a little bit, see a good spot, try there, hike a little bit, and yeah, it's not gonna be like all the time fishing. We're gonna select good spots and try there. In some deeper parts, probably I'm gonna try a streamer as well, because why not? To attract some bigger fish. Yeah, and just let's see what today brings. Hopefully it's gonna be a fun one. So let's go. That right there would be already a good spot for a streamer because it's really deep down there. Some kind of bait fish, small one. Oh, it got off. All the better. Well, first fish, first fish couple minutes in. Probably not gonna mess around with those too much. We need to find a trout still. Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch to streamer pretty soon because right here you can see it's really deep already. You don't see any fish rise or anything like that. With those low water levels, it's always like a little bit sketchy because you don't know if you're gonna see and find some fish because they all have like turned to some slower moving, deeper parts. So yeah, I think a heavier streamer would be a better play today. I can see some kind of movement on top right there, so I'm gonna try to cast a little bit closer there, but this is a really deep part. I can't even see the bottom of the river here. So I'm gonna just try here with the top flies, and because I'm seeing like some kind of bubbles and riffles, I'm gonna switch the streamers right away because yeah, we're gonna be targeting those deep pools today. It looks like I'm probably gonna go with a more simple woolly bugger one. Try the same place with this fluffy fly. Yeah, the fishing is getting more active because you have to like strip the line a little bit. The movement is really nice, which it has. It's like wrinkly. It's not straightforward. So that's good. Another thing is that I'm not really a professional with streamer fishing, but it shouldn't be that hard. Flicking it out again, let it sink a little bit. I'm stripping in like that. But this kind of bait should be targeting a lot bigger fish. Those small ones aren't gonna bother us too much. The thing is with fly fishing, you're like approaching a spot where like bigger fly or a streamer is more suitable. So okay, you cut down your last section of your tippet, like the smaller line. You're changing the fly, you're adding a streamer. Then after a bend or two, you are approaching a spot where a little bit lighter fly would be better. It's so tricky, you don't want to do it too often because it's like time consuming. And that's one thing I miss about fishing with regular rod, with regular lures. Because then you just, okay, this place would be suitable for a bigger lure, you just slap on a bigger one. This place you need a little bit smaller one, you slap on a smaller one. It's like more suitable for quick, easy, fast, and when you're fly fishing, most of times you're trying to make work of what you already have. And the possibility that you catch something like that, I think is a little bit smaller because you have a lot more things to take in consideration. There's a really nice outlet behind that rock. And usually those places behind big boulders are really good because all the food is like getting gathered together and getting swiped just besides the boulder, so the fish can hide beneath the boulder and just eat whatever is like going by. I'm all the time crossing from one side, crossing back to another, because I'm just trying to find the best angle of like presenting the fly correctly. You have only one chance to do it correctly, so that's why all the wading across. Of course, better would be try to stay out of the water. In the mainstream, it gets really, really deep down. I'm really hopeful with this streamer because it works out those deep sections really well. I just recently reverted back to a setup that was successful in another stream. I can put the little mark on so you can watch. We caught a decent sized grayling there. So basically it's a big dry fly, like really, really big dry fly. It serves more as an indicator, and on the bottom I have like a smaller olive leech pattern like this. Previous, the streamer, the bright one, it felt like it's a little bit too big, a little bit too aggressive for such a stream. It sure did get down in the deeper parts, but with this two fly setup, we'll manage to get almost the same effect on the depth. So got the hook into my finger a couple of times there. stream moves really slowly here, and I'm just like casting in the start of the bend where it gets deeper. And then you have to be just patient to wait until your fly is just drifting down and doing its thing. Yeah, I saw that river otter previously, and they like to feed on small fish and trout including, so that's a bit iffy. Ah, there's a little crayfish skipping through the water. If I can find it again, I can catch it, but those are moving really fast. Those are like miniature river lobsters. Look the same, but they're just really small. No, I can't find it again. There's a nice stretch of riffles and smaller plunge pools, but today, at this time of year, the water level is so low, 10 centimeters of water, and yeah, it doesn't look like it can hold any fish. Maybe some small ones, but I have pretty big flies on. Oh, that was a nice little stretch of ankle twisting. I like how we're still on the same river, but it's like 3 times as wide now. 3 times as shallow as well. Oh. Just need to understand on which bank to continue on. I think that one should be fine. So wading across again. Oh. It's another nice looking spot, but I'm stopping only on those kinds of places, on good looking spots, but still no luck. I'm pretty surprised because it's like peak season, the best time of the year to fish for those fish. Probably the water level does pay some kind of role. We just met some tourists, some hikers that are hiking along the trail on this river. Yeah, this river has like a trail almost entirely on its length. And he saw my fly rod, he was like already dry flies or wet flies. Basically, he was probably a fly fisherman himself. From their language, I suppose they were from Sweden, Finland, maybe something like that. And yeah, I should have asked him. Maybe he can like show me some rivers around there. Those are probably a little bit better for fly fishing. The fish resource is probably a lot bigger. And yeah, and it looks like the best option for this place is just to wade across and then try that bend under that spruce tree there. It's so depressing. You can see, I mean, I can see that I make a cast and I'm just seeing my flies unbothered, just flowing down. And what is bad also that, you know, one thing is not to catch fish and be like spooking them sometimes when you're wading through or something like that. But today I haven't seen any living organism in this river right past that starting point where that little bait fish hooked up for a second. Okay, this has to be the place. I'm not giving up still. I can't give up. Casting is weird because some kind of a small breeze is coming like from the other side. It's like super typical place. I heard something. I heard something. That was fish rising. It's a good sign. Ugh. Time for a little break. Lunch break. Days like these, need to cook a big old sausage. Let's cook a bunch of sausage on and eat it with like a spinach bread and make ourselves some kind of weird hot dogs, I guess. In my mind, it looked a little bit more easier to do. Oh yeah, everything is dripping. That you shouldn't make when you're outdoors. This is our post-lunch fishing time, and we're still looking for our fish. and we're still looking for a better looking places. Constantly really good spots, but they all seem to be empty, or I don't know. We're using the regular flies that we are using all the time, and that those flies that have shown that they work. A bigger elk hair on the top, and a smaller, no, this time we're still having like a nymph with a longer tail, like a leech pattern, which also has been working for us. Maybe I should change it to just a regular smaller nymph, but I'm kind of trusting that fly. And if not that one, we're still having a nice chunky dry fly on the top. Getting a bit lazy. Usually how it goes after eating. But I'm still not giving up. The river has lost its speed again here. Oh, and actually, previously I was looking for a kitchen table there. Just like a flat surface to put my stove on. I was flipping some rocks, and under one I found a big and fat juicy leech. So that even more tells me that those kind of things are here, and a leech pattern fly should be good. Like that one on like that one I'm having on the bottom. So I'm just telling myself that I'm doing everything mostly correctly. Ah. There was a fish rising, and I kept like throwing at it, and I thought that okay, I had that bigger leech pattern on the bottom. I changed that to a smaller nymph, started casting, and that same fish jumped straight out of the water and was like landing like right next to my feet, almost like laughing in my face. And then I cast it a couple more times, and I already felt like resistance, like a bite. All of the spots we were into, that I saw some kind of active fish. And I almost got it. And now I think whether I should try to change the nymph again, because it already bit down on this one, or I should just do a couple more casts. Finally, this day has paid off a little bit. Whew, finally it has paid off a little bit. With the nice grayling. Oh, 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 oh. I'm gonna show this one for camera, sure. Oh. For like how many hours? Decent sized as well. Oh, what a relief. Okay. So let me see if the hook is still there. No, hook is already out. Nice grayling, big one. Beautiful fish. Ne slow-mo kaut ko tādu. Okay. Ready, yeah? Doesn't want to go on it, so that was hard work for that one fish. Decent sized. I just turned off my chest camera and I was like, okay, that's it. And I guess that was that happened because there was a moment where I dropped the fly in and it had like a considerable amount of time to sink down because I was like watching if I'm still recording or doing whatever, thinking should I continue or not, and I'm like pressing it, seeing my fly, then like, you know, it's deep down and I'm probably gonna set the hook. I set the hook and the fish was on. Yeah, probably only because I was like messing around and the fly had a bunch of time to sink down. But yeah, this was nice. That was nice. Hey, this is our post-fishing checkup and let's say outro, something like that. We did manage to pull through this day. One single fish, normal sized one. It was a really hard day, and now I'm starting to think that maybe I made it hard on myself, by myself, because I caught that fish as soon as I switched back on a tiny nymph that's heavier enough to like get to the bottom. Maybe I was just fishing with too big of a lure like previously, and maybe I don't know. But yeah, only now and only at like last couple 100 meters we're seeing fish are rising and being active. Like the whole distance in the morning we didn't see anything. What I wanted to say is thank you for watching. Fact, almost 70 or 80% of you watching are not subscribed. So I would be really happy if you clicked on that subscribe button. That really helps out. Yeah, thanks again for watching. Still have some fun episodes ahead in my mind, and I can't wait to bring them to reality. And I hope you are gonna watch them as well. So yeah, let's see you on the next adventure, and see you next time. Bye.